sun today and really cold in the shade. So while I'm trying to figure out what to do with myself, I thought I would pop on for a few, recap the yarn that I purchased and give you a review on that in the first of my yarn travel and scenic tour series, which was in Grover Beach, California, during my 2-week visit there, friends and family on the Central Coast. The beautiful Central Coast of California, I might add. And I am Helene, hi, here at Cabin Fever Crochet in the beautiful northeastern Washington state. And I left, well, it was still summer, and came back to fall, and the temps here are like flip-flopping this time of year. We had a cold front last week and now a high pressure system, and it's warm this week, and then by the end of the week it's going to drop down again. So 'tis the season. We'll take it each day for what it is. All right, so the yarn that I got at Let's Knit in Grover Beach is the Barocco Pima Soft, and that was on my first trip. And as I mentioned in my first installment, I did go back actually 2 more times, but within the same hour. I picked up something else and another cool tool, which I'll show you. So when we get to that part in the series, just I'm going in order of how I went, just easier to keep track. And then I thought, oh, I better get 1 more of these just to be sure I have enough. So I want to show you what I made. I made 2 hats, one for my friend of over 50 years. We met in junior high school. We've been friends all these years. And so we like a lot of the same things, and we also often wind up buying the same stuff and be like twinsies. So I bought 3 of these to make 2 hats, and I still had a little bit left over. This red, to me, the color in the store, more periwinkle. But once I compare it to an actual periwinkle, which I had in mind to combine, see, that's an actual periwinkle. This is a knit crate yarn. They're cotton basic. It's an organic cotton. And I like mixing different textures sometimes just to add even more interest and dimension, because I like all those things. And certain types of yarn really lend itself to that, such as this Pima Soft. So I thought, ooh, I had this great idea. I'm going to do a border in perhaps the solid, and then the rest in what is actual periwinkle. And as you can see, they are not the same. So I am calling this cornflower blue. So to me, that is what it actually reads. And it's looking pretty true to color on camera, although it depends what it's next to, what I'm wearing, and in certain lighting. So here's the hat on me, and then my friend Pat, who makes a terrific, beautiful model. So you can see different skin coloring, different head shapes, different climates, how it works and looks on both of us. She wanted a real pronounced slouch, and I was going to go for a mid slouch in mine, but I wound up doing the exact same. And it lays really, really nicely. And this is my Daydreams slouchy hat, by the way, and I will leave the link below in the description section. And I always like to try and shop and support local first whenever possible. And so Julia, the owner of Let's Knit, she does not do mail order, but if you happen to be along the Central Coast or passing through or live near there, it would be worth a trip to stop in. She has a wonderful selection of this yarn and many others, and everything from basics and acrylic and a lot of natural, like the cotton and blends, and all the way up to the really high-end yarn. But if you do not live in that area and don't plan to be, I did find a couple of other resources for you, and actually one in particular. It's called Wool and Company, and they have a storefront in Elgin, Illinois. So is anybody out there? Are you near there? Have you been to that store? Oh my goodness, I think you need about 3 days to take it all in, and pockets full of $100 bills. From what I can tell, it looks really quite amazing. So Also, as far as I can tell, sadly, this appears to be a discontinued yarn. I don't know, that just seems the way. So many come and go now. Maybe they're just not available from the mill anymore, or it's just the new flavor of the month. But I discover something and then I really love it, and then it's maybe not so much available. But the Woolen Company, and they have an online store, mail order too, which is great. So they have all the colors in this, because my idea is like for my friend, she wanted my dewdrop scarf to go with it, and this one is going to be on the more lighter weight, finer end for the warmer days. And I'm calling these two a set, even though they are two different stitch patterns. They still work, and a set doesn't necessarily have to be matchy-matchy. It could be the same pattern with maybe two different types of yarns that can coordinate together, or the same yarn with two different patterns that can work back. Because I think that the scallop dewdrop portion tends to work back to the shells that are in the hat. All right, but my thought was for this yarn, thinking I was going to be able to combine the two, is that, see, like if I go into the lighter tone here, woo, baby, that was a good gust there. You know, that could work. I don't know. You know, sometimes all you can do is try. So that was my idea, because I want to come up with a cowl, regardless whether I use this yarn or something else, to go with this hat in the same pattern. Maybe a scarf, maybe a cowl, or infinity scarf, or maybe both. I don't know. What do you think? What would you like to see? I have ideas though for the design. I really want it to work back to this. Okay, so back to the yarn, the Pima Soft. It is made in Peru. It is a really, really nice quality cotton. It's smooth. It glides on the hook, but certain hooks are going to work better than others. A wooden hook, no. The wood has a lot of bite to it, and the cotton typically does. And even though this is smooth and glides, it does have a twist to it, which is going to give it more texture. And I wouldn't recommend a hook that has a sharp head, a sharp hook portion tip on it, as I think that might get hung up in a yarn that has a pronounced twist as well. So I tested 3 different hooks, all by Furls. The Candy Shop, which is the resin, and you can see it has more of a kind of a semi-rounded, not too pointy, not too sharp, and it glides along, does not get hung up. Sadly, did you know the Candy Shop are no longer being made, and the Odyssey gone also. I did try the swirls, the resin with all the pretty colors, and they work for certain yarns. Did not so much for this one. It did get hung up. So the Odyssey, which is metal, that was great too. So I would go with something that the hook itself has some good slip to it, and that it's not too pointy, and that this head hook portion here where you grasp the yarn, that is not too sharp either. But I enjoyed working with it very, very much. They're 50-gram balls, so half the usual size. It is a number 3, so in the half size you get 124 yards or 113 meters. And it is a lightweight yarn. This piece is not heavy at all. It's coming out really nice and airy. Hook size, it calls for a 3.75 millimeter F hook and a 3.75 to 4 millimeter in knitting needles. I went up to an H 5 millimeter hook for 2 reasons, because she wanted this one more lighter weight and open area, and also because of the nature of the stitches in this pattern, that seemed to work best in all of the various yarns, and I have made 4 so far. The alpaca tencel was a knit crate yarn that worked up beautifully. I used Premier Cotton Puzzle, which is a cotton acrylic. Love that yarn. Love how this worked up in that yarn. That's one I would definitely buy again. And then the Michaels, the Caron, the Blossom Cakes, and I showed that a while back. That one I was making for my sister, which I gave her when I was down there, so I'm going to insert a picture of her modeling that. And then now this one. Tell how light and airy that is. I think it's such a pretty color. I love cornflower blue for that reason, because it does lean a little towards the periwinkle. So I don't know, some of these areas where the color fades out from the natural hand yarn dyeing process, it may just work. What do you think? Let me know, please, in the comment section. What do you think about that? And are you more interested in a scarf or a cowl that you could just make longer to an infinity scarf to work back to this hat? And depending on popular request, or just, well, hey Sunny, my kitty cat, or just how the yarn works out itself, I might just go with whatever is best. Because you know how that goes sometimes. Have a project in mind and different yarns just work better for different things. So I just thought I'd work up a little bit here as we're visiting, chatting. But that was such a fun experience. I am still sort of flying high, so to speak, on that, with just so many wonderful and lasting memories. What a blessing. I am so grateful to have been able to go. Long time in the making. The last time I had been down, last time I saw my sister was this time of year, the end of 2016, when our mom was passing. So I made it in time, and I was there for the 2 weeks, and then we just had a very simple memorial service, and I flew home. So that was it. Our mom lived till she was 101. So that is really remarkable, and she had quite a remarkable life. What a lady, what a lady. So in that sense, you know, that part of it was good, to celebrate her life. She was still just as sharp, just as sharp. Anyway, the end of an era, and our dad passed many years ago, when he was only in his 50s. It's kind of odd feeling when one's parents are no longer here with us. It, for me anyway, really had me start looking at my own mortality and how short life really is, and how important it is to do what you enjoy and spend the time and make it the best it can be with those you love and hold most dear to your heart. And sometimes we can go through life and feel things and then not let people know. So I've made a point of that, and just have my life as peaceful and drama-free as possible. So yeah, that's my sermon of the day. Anyway, it was a lovely trip, and I have a lot of footage to share. And Kitty, oh, here we go. Yes, I have a lot of footage to go through. So I hope you are enjoying these episodes. Tell me, please, if you're enjoying them, and would look forward to see more, because it's a lot to sort through and clip and put together and edit, and the music and the voiceovers and the whole thing. So isn't she sweet? She adopted us. That's 2 now. Yeah. And she has taken to the life, huh? She's adjusted to her station in life. Yeah, her name's Sunny. All right, everyone, that's it for today. I hope that you found this useful, helpful, maybe even a little entertaining. I did say that I was going to pop back on and tell you about the yarn a little bit more. So here I am, and that's it for now. I hope you will come back again next time. And I have things in the works as always. So until then, take good care. All righty. See you soon.